Alright, chronic pain 101.1111. Let's talk about the reality of timelessness. I don't exist in real time anymore. Others have time. They exist within an 8-hour period, a 12-hour period. They know night, they know day. I exist on physical pain tolerance time. Physical pain tolerance time. I basically go with whatever my body allows me to handle. So my daylight savings time is however my arm or my neck or my, whatever nerve, however it is feeling is what my days are going to be. Last night, I haven't slept more than maybe a dozen hours, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. But last night, as an example, from 2 to 6, every 20 minutes on the 20-minute cycle, bam, bam, bam. I can't lie down without the intense pain. I didn't have, the energy, if you will. My body just wasn't working, so I didn't go fill my machine with ice. So I was using warm ice. I know that sounds crazy. I was using warm water, and that in itself, room temperature water, it doesn't do the trick. And so it was just a miserable night, and I should have gotten up, should have taken care of that. But the simplest things become the hardest things, and so you got this flip-flop. So you go from 2, 3 to 4, 5, then 5 to 5:45, just waiting to make sure my daughter's up, so I don't have to be asked to drive her 30 minutes out of my way, and then wake her up, and then wish I could get that last 20 minutes of sleep, but it won't come. So, all right, let's go and soak the pain into it in the shower. So that was my night. And the next time I'll have the ability to really sleep is the next time I fill that machine with ice, and I choose to apply it, and I put myself in the one position my body will afford for me right now, and then I'll just doze off for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and I'm up again. There's something unbelievably difficult with that is not about just the pain. I mean, the pain's just ridiculous. It's so off the charts. I mean, if I talked about that alone, I'll make a video called Horror Stories of True Pain. I'll describe every little aspect of how it registers in my head. But the reality of, the hardest part is the lack of any kind of structured life schedule. I've adapted to, my family comes down and wakes me up at any time, or doesn't wake me up. They just always know that if I'm asleep, I'm within just like a very slim little veil of it, and waking me up won't make any difference whether I sleep 20 minutes here or 20 minutes there. And that's just cyclically I'm always up, I'm always available. People consider me a 24-hour day, everything from sponsorship to friendship to family, everything in my life. I'm a 24-hour day service because I just, I've developed a very clear pattern of not sleeping, or just of sleeping in such random ways. So anyway, and that creates such a disillusioned mentality to real life. Like the people survive, forget the circadian rhythms and all that stuff, but just the general mentality. Even in first, second, third shift, people work their lives around certain patterns, and sleep is the one constant. Like everybody notches, 6 to 8 hours. If you're, if you don't live well, you only sleep 6 to 8 hours, or if you live well, you sleep 6 to 8 hours. But most people sleep 8 to 10 hours. I don't even know what the time people sleep is anymore. For me, the dream, if I could get an 8-hour night sleep, holy shit, wow, like that would be magnificent. So it's the fact that I have no single point of reference to what my days are, And so it's just one long, never-ending day. And in that day, there are hours that are wonderfully pleasant with pain. And then there are hours that are amazing with pain. Then there are hours that are horrific with pain. And there are hours that are sad with pain, and glad with pain, and mad with pain, always with pain. And it just never ends. That cycle never ends. It's like I'm living that longest day ever. And the prospect of it ending is when I die. That's the realistic view, and I have to keep that very close in my mind. When I die, it ends. That's it. So knowing that, it becomes, how do I want to live? How am I going to live? And, that's a really important thing to meditate on, because thinking there's going to be any escape whatsoever from the pain is foolish. It's hopeless. And when I used to be caught up in medicating to get the relief, the hopelessness was what I built my flag around. I have no hope here. This is just so horrible, blah, blah, blah. And it's easy to give up, obviously, when you're in that hopeless feeling. I don't do that today. I am not hopeful for the wrong things today, right? So today, I'm not hopeful that all of a sudden I'm going to wake up and feel good. Right? It's never going to happen. And God, it's just going to get so much worse. So I'm not hopeful for that at all. I'm not hopeful that somehow I'm going to meet this miracle doctor and he's going to solve my problems. Not hopeful at all. I'm not hopeful, that somehow, there's going to be an answer to why I feel this way. Because there's a lot of that too, just that not knowing what comes next when you have a decaying nervous system, that no one even knows why it's performing this way. So it comes down to not allowing yourself to have hope for the wrong things. And that seems calculated, whatever. Life is calculated, right? I mean, life doesn't deal the cards that you hope it deals the cards that are right in front of you. And it takes time and acceptance to get there, and a lot of mistakes, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And now I'm there. So now I'm 46, whatever age I am, and I have to accept that my responsibility now is to my son, right? To myself and my family, my wife, my daughter, my other son, to the house in the meantime, and I can do as much as I can possibly do. I don't sit here wishing or wondering or hoping or getting excited that there's going to be this wonderful tomorrow after my son leaves. I hope that I'm good enough that I can enjoy some traveling maybe or something, and or maybe, hell, who knows, maybe, there will be some sort of amazing recovery that I haven't even thought of. That's possible. But what I look forward to is, and what I try to hope for, is an ability on a day-to-day basis to deal with whatever I'm going through for that day to the best of my ability. And I get really excited for the smallest things. And that is, I think, key. And it's not because, oh my God, I'm making up this excitement. Like, I honestly am excited about things that I should be excited about today, and I get upset about things I should be upset about today. Anyway, so the big thing about pain, when it's chronic and forever, and if it really is that, then acceptance can't come fast enough. And acceptance isn't just accepting that it's really accepting the smallest miracles. And I don't say that in the spiritual way. I'm not even change the word miracle. Accepting the smallest gifts as the biggest moments you could possibly imagine, turns the biggest nightmares into the smallest moments you can possibly imagine at the moment. So that's a big plus for somebody who's always suffering. I don't know if that made sense, but it's what it is.